We have a bro who's written in, he's at university and he started dating and he has some dating reports to discuss. So he says, my first two Hinge dates as a 20-year-old university student. Good luck out there, bro. This is probably the best time of your life. You're not going to meet more single women who are ready to hook up more than when you're at university. So certainly make the most of it. Otherwise you'll regret it for the rest of your life. And yeah, it's just great practice as well, because if you're dating a lot during your university years, it's going to set you up really well for your later years. Just make sure to use protection. Don't want to be catching anything itchy or popping out any babies anytime soon. So he's 20 years old, living in the UK and commuting to university to do a degree in your average university city. So he's actually commuting into university. Now it's going to save you a lot of money, but you're not going to quite get the dorm room experience of inviting women over. You're probably still living at home. Again, it's great financially, but you're not going to get that university student lifestyle that many of us go to university for. Let's be honest, guys. But it's probably not worth to be in lifetimes worth of student debt just to enjoy that student life. But we all make mistakes. I want a long-term relationship and am not into hook-up short-term culture. I never really partied and had the university social life and preferred sports and travelling. Well, you've got your values all in order, but I always question when a guy says, I'm not into short-term hookups. Bro, you'd have a short-term hookup with Megan Fox if she was laying in your beds in underwear. You would. I feel like a lot of guys say, I'm not into short-term hookup cultures because you don't have the confidence to have short-term hookups and you don't have the variety of women who are interested in you. So yeah, cut the bullshit. I installed Hinge at the end of last year and have had approximately 18 matches since. That's good going. His profile must be quite solid. He must be quite a good looking guy. Maybe it's all the sports and travelling he does. He lives an interesting life. And if he's a sporty guy, maybe he's got that physique to go with it. So 80 matches for a guy, I'd say that is above the average. I think the average man might get 1 or 2 matches a week if he's lucky. We're in April now. He's maybe been on the apps for about 6 months, let's say. 80 matches. I think that's fine. About half just ghost and never reply, the rest talk a bit, and once in a while it gets to the point of exchanging socials, etc. Well, you as the guy should be leading those conversations to a date. And if you're just asking, oh, how's the weather? How's your day at university? What did you get up to today? You're going to bore her to tears. Because you've got to remember, these average women, they probably get 100 matches a day. And you're getting 80 matches in 6 months. So they might be ghosting you, yeah, because they have no interest, or they didn't see your message because they have so many other dicks in their DMs, or you're just boring them out of liking you. You've got to stand out from the crowd, because a lot of guys are just having these meaningless conversations with these women. You're not standing out, and you're not going in for the kill, which is the date. Because that's where all the chemistry is built. That's where you stand out, is by standing in front of her and going on a date. About half just goes, never reply, the rest talk a bit, and once in a while it gets to the point of exchanging socials. Again, you don't need to exchange any socials, you should be just planning to go on a date in person. Don't have to worry about, oh, let me add you on Snapchat, let me add you on Instagram. All her fans are doing that. You want to be meeting her in person. Let me just have a drink of coffee and we'll get back through this post. He continues to say, I've gone on to have dates with 2 girls who both wanted long-term relationships. Girl 1 lived in a nearby university city, was far more into the party life than me. Completely, that's fine. Okay, so that is very clear to you that she won't be someone you want to date long-term. But you're young. You've got to have some experiences. If she's pretty, if you get along well, then maybe look into something just casual. As long as you're open and honest with her about it. If she's in the party life, I'm sure she would be also looking for something casual, especially if you are a decent looking guy and you play your cards right. Got to get some experience under your belt. We dated for a few weeks, and after we met up a few times, okay, so it's good that it seems like he's organising a lot of dates to meet in person, so that's a green tick. She asked me after a night out clubbing if it was okay for her to sleep with her ex while dating me. Wow, that is quite the line. Let's reread that. We dated for a few weeks, and after we'd met a few times, she asked me after a night out clubbing if it was okay for her to sleep with her ex whilst dating me. Okay, so obviously she's going out to nightclubs where maybe her ex-boyfriend is at. She's talking to lots of men in person, and after a few drinks she's getting a bit horny and she wants to sleep with her ex. Now, credit to her for messaging you saying, hey, is this okay because we're dating? Like, I know we're not official, but hey, I just want to be open and honest with you. I'm probably going to sleep with my ex tonight. Is that okay? So, hey, credit to her for being honest to you about that, because she didn't need to tell you. But I also read that as maybe she's saying, hey, bro, buck up your ideas. I'm horny right now. I've just been out clubbing. Invite me over to yours and let's have sex. Now, of course, that might be difficult for you because you're living with your parents, but who cares if your parents are in? Invite her over. You know, you're 20 years old, you're an adult. Invite her over and get the deed done, because I feel like she sent this to you because you haven't slept with her yet. His reply was, he says here, I don't know in what world she thought I would have replied, yeah, no worries, that's fine. Okay, so that's what he sent to her. Yeah, no worries, that's fine. That must be an absolute gut punch. You're sitting there thinking to yourself, okay, this could like turn into a long-term relationship, but now this girl is sleeping with her ex while you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs, looking at her Instagram, wishing that you were sleeping with her instead. But hey, like you said, she is the party girl, so you should have expected this, and maybe this is going to tell you, hey, this girl is not right for me. Especially if you're building something over all these dates, you're thinking, hey, this girl is probably only dating me. Let's hopefully lead us to a relationship. Now, if you've been dating enough, you know that the girl you're probably talking to and you're not exclusive with is talking to other men and possibly sleeping with other guys. There could be the awful scenario where you took her out on a really great date during the day, you drop her off to her house, and 10 minutes later she's calling over her booty call and he's getting the job done after you spent all your money and time on her during the day. It's a rough world out there, but it's just a game, guys. Girl number 2, much more recent. She was devoutly religious and at the same uni as me. Are women ever devoutly religious these days? Maybe they are. I've heard some stories about these church girls who are absolutely wild. But I don't think I've ever dated anyone very religious, so I don't have any information on that. But there are women out there who are virgins and who are very religious and only want something long term. So they're definitely out there. But I think it can be difficult to find them at university or on these dating apps. So just be aware of that. We clicked really well, went on 6 dates over the course of the month. Fantastic. This guy seems to be getting dates arranged very well. So he's doing that right. And then she began telling me about her boy best friend and slowly began to reveal that they watch movies together in bed of a sexual nature, and she gets back massages from him. Yeah, this girl doesn't sound very religious, does she? Maybe the stories I've heard about religious girls are right. Again, you're not exclusive, there's nothing wrong with that, but again, it sounds like maybe this girl's doing the same as what the first girl did and saying, hey, if you don't back up your ideas, I've got a roster of other men waiting to hook up with me because you're not making a move. This guy has not once said that he's done anything more than just gone on dates with these women. Has he even had a kiss? Has he led it to the bedroom? He probably hasn't. Now, I get it, he's looking for something long term. Maybe he really isn't into the hookup culture scene. But if you're going on, 6 dates with a woman, it's okay, bro, to sleep with her. Do you know what I mean? Because when you sleep with this woman, then yeah, it might have the natural next step to go into a long-term relationship. Just because you sleep with a girl before having that exclusivity talk doesn't mean she's not girlfriend material. But I feel like that's kind of how he's viewing it. Unfortunately, we're not in the early 1900s anymore, bro. I tried to rationalize it in my head, but we ended it in the next few days as apparently I was insecure and jealous. Maybe you were a bit insecure and jealous. Maybe she is right about that. But if she's saying you're insecure and jealous, again, that's a red flag for me that she has no respect for you. I don't think that's a very nice comment for her to say to you, even if it is slightly true. I think from your point of view, you're just trying to visualize a perfect woman, this, you know, Virgin Mary who wears white and doesn't get up to any kinky stuff in her past. And unfortunately, bro, you're 20 years old. You're dating around a university scene, and it is going to be very difficult for you to find a virgin who meets this criteria. Now, I'm not saying change your rules and values. I'm just saying just be aware that it's going to be very difficult to find these women on these apps. So maybe you should start dating women in person. Maybe go to, I don't know, church club or something, or go to hiking club, and you've got to meet women in person, and you've got to really commit to talking to at least 5 to 10 women a day. You really got to buck up those numbers, because the more women you interact with, the more likely you are to find someone who does fit your values and that you could get into a long-term relationship with. He ends it by saying, I'm not going to stop using the app, it just gives me a perspective in anything. But yeah, just thought I'd share my experiences. Yeah, the apps are tough out there, and yeah, these are the type of women you're probably going to come across. These women aren't bad people, they possibly could be great relationship material, but yeah, just please be aware that they do have a roster of men who's probably messaging them, trying to slide into their DMs, and you don't know what they're getting up to after your date has ended with them. So yeah, it kind of sucks out there, but there are some great women out there, and I hope you do find them soon. Anyway, that's all, guys. Cheers. See ya.